Welcome to Memoirs of a White Guy, chapter fuck if I know. Today I'm joined by two guests, Lewis Spears and Mike from North Borders. Is that how you say it?
From I don't know.
Mike, who is North Borders.
I would just say, yeah, my Instagram is just North Borders.
That's just his Instagram.
And
But,
it's not like the North Borders. It's just that's just my Instagram.
So Mike is a professional. I'm going to call you professional because you're being paid to do it. So professional. Although that's calling me a professional comedian sometimes, which isn't true at all. So a professional videographer and photographer and drone man.
Oh yeah, he's a drone man.
And he's on the tour with us. We're currently in Newcastle.
Yeah.
Doing the shows. Do you want to move closer? I don't know.
Well, I don't know. You're going to introduce me? I'm feeling really left
Yeah, I have. I already said Lewis Spears.
I think I'm the.
But people know who you
I'm the
are.
star of the show.
Yeah, well, you've been on the podcast
Tell
before.
him I'm a professional comedian.
Lewis is amateur comedian Lewis Spears, who has left the room in anger. So yeah, we're in Newcastle. We just finished 3 shows this weekend. You did 2 of your shows on the Saturday night, back to back.
2 in a row, yeah. That was crazy.
First one sold out, and the second one pretty much sold out anyway.
Yeah.
So it's crazy. And then I did my first ever show of the You Don't Own Me tour in Newcastle, which is a dumb thing to do.
Stupid. You should have done it.
But it went so well. I took a massive
Oh, yeah.
risk and it paid off.
Yeah, like, to give you an example, this is my 3rd tour, so I've been doing comedy for 3 years now, and this is the first time I came to Newcastle. I didn't even think about it in my 1st and my 2nd year, and in my 3rd year I was like, you know what, I'll do it, and I'll half fill the room, and then, I'll make my flights back.
I think what's funny is none of us actually knew where Newcastle was before.
I thought it was below Sydney, and apparently it's north of Sydney, and
it was near Canberra.
I thought it was near Canberra too. I thought it was like the next.
No, you probably thought it was in fucking Darwin. He doesn't.
You don't know shit.
Lewis doesn't know. I was like, hey, are you going to Darwin on your tour? And he goes, yeah, I'm going to Tasmania. For overseas people, Darwin is not in Tasmania. It's almost
opposite.
A 6-hour plane ride away. It's the opposite end of the country.
Yeah.
It's north and Tasmania
But Darwin
south.
does sound like a place that would be
In Tasmania, because it sounds a bit shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of shit,
Newcastle
is a fucking hole.
Yeah. No, here's the thing. The people here
Lovely.
are great. Explain why. You have a theory of why the people are great.
So I said this on stage when I was opening for Luke. Oh, by the way, I wanted to say before I tell the story, Luke's show is fucking good. He even surprised me for it. I've seen him working on the show for 2 years.
Yeah.
I've seen all of his bits, and last night in Newcastle, he fucking nailed it. It's a very good. You know how you see a comedian up for an hour and they tell jokes for an hour, and you're like, that was funny, but didn't feel like a show. Like, yours is a show.
Yeah, it flowed really well,
Yeah.
and the audience were like, I think the audience were a bit like, oh, this is actually good.
Yeah.
Because I'm a risk.
were.
Because anyone in their first year, they've just seen my videos online. They've seen shit never said, and they go, "I know he's funny," and then they're like, "But let's see how his stand-up is." And I think they were all pleasantly not surprised. Well, probably a bit surprised. Pleasantly,
I was surprised, and I've been watching you for 2 years.
pleasantly surprised. They're like, "Oh, okay, I've not wasted my money at all."
Yeah.
And everyone loved it, and people came up to me and after the show and just said they thought it was great, which was the coolest feeling because I've never had that before. I've only ever seen a number on a screen. And when people actually come up to your face and say, I listen to your podcast and I like your videos, and you're like, oh, they're people.
Well, what I think was great is that this was your first show in Newcastle as well, and the fact that you actually people came to the first ever
I
show.
know, in a
place when you're not from as well. I think that, for your first year, that's incredible.
The room was like over half full in my first ever year, and I've never come here before.
Yeah,
and that's crazy.
When my first tour, I did Brisbane, which is a major city. If you don't know, Newcastle is more of a regional one. I did Brisbane to 30 people in a 150-seater. That was my first year.
Yeah. Okay.
So for Luke to half fill a room in a regional place, to get anybody in a regional place,
I know.
That's difficult
because there's just less people in general.
Oh yeah,
there's a lot of houses.
A lot of houses here.
Yeah. So my theory of Newcastle, right?
Yeah.
Everyone here is really nice and fucking gorgeous because there's nothing to do in small towns except for work on yourself as a human being.
And like your appearance.
Yeah, your appearance and then, I don't know, just...
And your
because
personality.
you just see everybody all the time, so you have to be nice.
Yeah, the people are nice to each other, but They did. Here's me hating on it. They didn't. We went into a pub, right? There's nowhere to eat. We've walked around 2 days in a row just trying to find lunch, and we went into 2 bars. One bar was closed. One bar was open, but they said our chef doesn't come in today.
No,
the whole
said
day.
The kitchen was just closed.
Yeah,
they're
like
6 p.m.
The kitchen's closed. And we're like, when will it be open? Have we come too early? No, it's closed today.
The entire
like our chef just is on a bender. Like in Sydney,
because so fucking weird. Like I've never seen. It's mystifying to me. I've never seen so many houses in one place and so little people making money out of them. Like there's no businesses, there's no cafes, there's no
recreational things here.
Yeah,
you either drink on a Saturday and then you. So other 6 days, you probably just stay in your home.
And I was worried about saying this on stage because I thought maybe we're in the wrong area, and I thought they'd be like, oh, you don't.
Everyone agreed. He was saying all these, bagging the shit out of them on stage, and they were like, it's funny because it's true.
Yeah, because Luke's show was on a Monday night. That's another massive thing to get 30 people on a Monday night.
Yeah, fucking hell.
No matter how big you are, is fucking insane.
That's true. I didn't think about that.
And people coming out when people come out on a Monday night and they were up for it, like it felt like a Saturday night.
Oh, they were excited to be there. They were singing the songs before we came in. Like,
yeah, Luke.
It's just weird, man.
Luke, because he's Luke, was playing fucking All Star before the show, and you know what?
Everyone was fucking singing
it. Yeah,
it was crazy.
Singing along.
They were just excited to be there, and I'd never even done a show before. I was like, "This is the coolest shit ever." People want to be here. Yeah.
It's just about fucking how small Newcastle was. I was just saying, I went down to the beach.
We're not done bagging this shit.
Yeah, we're gonna bag you maybe another 10 minutes. Yeah,
we hate it.
We just hate it that much.
The shows were awesome. The city is a fucking.
Although the beach is beautiful.
That's what I was gonna say.
The beach is great.
I went down to the beach yesterday, but even that, like, I went down to the beach. It was a 5-minute drive. I went there for half an hour, flew my drone, and I was like, okay, that's it. I'm done.
Yeah.
And then I went home.
Dude, there was not even fish and chips.
There's no fish and chips at all.
The beach is surrounded by houses.
Yeah.
There's, like, I actually don't understand
Can't get away from it.
I don't understand how are they living here? Like, no one's making money.
All
I saw was houses.
We were like, let's get fish and chips by the beach. There wasn't any, so I went to this pub a couple of blocks away from the beach, and I was like, hey, do you guys have Palmer's? And she went, what? It's like, what? And I was like, what?
We're at a pub.
Palmer's. And then Lewis, because I was being a bogan, was like, stepped in with a normal thing, was like, he means chicken parmigiana. And she goes, no, we don't do that.
And what do you mean you don't do that?
And we were like, what? You're a pub. And then I was like, all right, well, let's just get a jug of lemon lime bitters. She goes, we don't do jugs. You're a pub.
It's fucking Newcastle.
What do you mean you don't do jugs and Palmers? That's the only reason I walked in here, and now I feel too rude to leave, so I got this bullshit chicken sub, and they go, yeah, it comes with salad. Coleslaw isn't a salad, Newcastle.
No.
That's coleslaw.
Yeah, coleslaw.
Tomato and lettuce is a salad.
It's its own category. Coleslaw is fucking
Usually
shit.
the white privilege in this podcast doesn't come out till like the 30-minute mark. We're just right into it today.
Oh, yeah, we're complaining
just
about...
Newcastle.
Here's the fun fact of the week. Newcastle is a shithole. That's it.
We're lucky that there's even food to buy, and then we're just... It's not the right food, though.
Yeah, but in saying that, I absolutely love the show, and I'll be back next year.
Yeah. Please come. Can't wait. You know, although I'm going to come back next year for mine as well, and I'm going to do a fly in, fly out. I'm going to land at 5. I'll do my show at 7 and fuck off at like 11 p.m.
No, but like that's the thing, because the shows were just probably the best shows we've actually done on the tour. And then the next day when we're not at the show, we're just like, we were like, let's do something today.
I googled it,
and we left the house, and then we were like, let's just go back and sit in the air conditioning because it's 90% humidity here.
And I thought that if it got to 100% humidity, you'd be breathing water. That makes sense.
He comes back from his walk and goes, "Oh, it's 90%, and like 100% is just water in the air." Yeah, it's like that, like that planet on Inception where it's just water. No, not Inception. The Matthew McConaughey one.
You just fucked it, bro. Just continue.
Yeah, just
stop right
good
there.
on you, mate.
Interstellar.
Yeah.
No one watched that movie anyway.
Stop banging the desk, dickhead. That's gonna make a few people dead.
Whatever.
Yeah, but no, what's 100%? What's the percentage? If it's humidity,
it would just be like
it's 90%
really
what and 10% what. Now I want to Google it, but we're recording on the phone.
Yeah, whatever. Who cares enough?
Anyway, but what's really important is there's no fucking Wi-Fi in this home. Yeah. Holy shit!
It's the worst. This is a really angry podcast.
This is angry. I'm just so pissed off.
This is the most aggressive thing, because I don't usually do aggressive. Oh, no, I do a bit.
Well, you've invited us.
No, actually, I do aggressive. I've invited the two most aggressive people I know on the podcast. So, if you don't know, I think you would know, Lewis Spears has been on the podcast. He's got, like, a massive online following. And, 100k? I don't know, 140k on YouTube now? I don't know.
148. I'm going to hit 150
anyway, he's on, he's just big. Lewis is touring Australia for, third year in a row. Mike has got, you got, 20k on him.
I'm about to hit 20k.
Which is insane for a photography Instagram page in Australia,
Mike is 17.
Oh, yeah. 17
he might sound like he's 30. If you saw him, you'd be like, yeah, that's a 50-year-old man.
Yeah.
But he's fucking 17. For you to be that... I hadn't even started at 17. I started at 18.
Yeah, you know how many people tell me, when I was your age... I
was still trying to be in a band when I was 17.
Everyone was like, I was fucking around, chasing women and smoking bongs. I'm like, yeah, you're a fucking idiot, mate. You haven't got your fucking life together.
You're like, get your drone out there. Just give it a good fly, mate.
Just get up to Newcastle, take your fucking drone out, and there you go.
Get high on life, mate. Get high on life.
Fly drones, not bongs.
Anyway, we've got no Wi-Fi, so what Mike's been doing, there's a massive kind of long hallway in the Airbnb, and he's found a plastic bag, and for 3 days straight has just been kicking a bag up the hallway. And he's like, and I started doing it the other day, and I was like, oh man, this is pretty fun. He goes, don't do it, Luke, it's addictive. And then legitimately the next 10 minutes I just kick this bag, and that's what happens when you give 3 millennials without a Wi-Fi connection for 3 days.
I've just been watching him because I actually have mobile internet.
I watch TV. I just don't have much data, so I've been trying not to use it much. And then we started watching TV the other night, and we're watching Gladiator, and every time it got to something good, it goes to an ad, and we were just like, what the hell?
Yeah, that's TV sucks, man. It's the worst.
Yeah. I haven't watched TV for 3 years. I sat down.
And it was bad, man.
And we watched it. And it's just not the same anymore.
I can't remember the last time I've
No, it's not. It is the same. It is that's
it
why
hasn't changed. It hasn't changed. That's Porn Stars show. So
Porn Stars.
No, it was hardcore porn. So it's like porn. Not like hardcore porn, like bondage stuff. It was like... the shows where people bring in their pawn shops and they get them valued and stuff. But it used to be real. People used to bring in the stuff. It was just I don't know how. It was actually like watching real porn. It was the most scripted, worst acting thing in the world. And they were like $800, and he was like, "I'm sorry, man." And then this guy was trying to. This actor was like, "I'm trying to get something for my baby girl. I want a new ring. I'm gonna propose to her." I'm gonna be like, "Hey, baby," and
he started singing.
"I want to propose," and I'm like, "No one would do that." And it was just an actor.
Yeah.
And then he goes, "Yeah, I've got this $500 credit. I'm going to pay for it in the $500 credit." And she happened to quote him $500 for the ring. He was like, "Oh, great. I got this $500 credit." And she goes, "Uh-oh." And she said it like that. The lady behind the counter was like, "Uh-oh. This credit ran out 6 months ago." And he goes, "You cannot be serious." I'm like, this is not a thing that would ever occur.
He gets into a fight with the security guard.
And then this massive security guard walked up behind him and pushed him out of the store. And then the guy's like, "I will take you," on the way out. He's like getting pushed out. He's like, "I will ruin you." And the guy's like, "Get out, get out."
It's fake. Yeah,
that would never happen, and it used to be real.
I think they just figured out, right, that it's cheaper to fake it, because if you're waiting for real shit to happen, that means you're going to pay a camera guy to stand by for 3 months.
It's embarrassing.
To film an episode.
He was like, I was watching it and laughing my ass off because I'm like, this is so shit. And he's like, "Turn it off. I don't watch anymore. Turn it off."
I was physically cringing. I couldn't fucking watch
Lewis
it
was
anymore.
asleep because you passed out pretty much.
Because
you did 2 shows
in a row. I was dead.
I couldn't believe, because Lewis does it in a leather jacket, right? And I don't think people get it. When the lights were on you last night, I got about 20 minutes in and I was like, I'm going to die.
I could see you suffering.
Because there's a massive spotlight at the back of the room, which is probably adding about 5 degrees to the stage, and then you've got lights either side, which probably adding another 2 or 3 degrees each. It's about 8 degrees hotter, I reckon, on the stage.
Yeah.
And then you're performing, and you run out of breath because you're trying to do all the jokes properly, it's more mentally challenging because you're just trying to remember everything and stuff. And when you have to be on it,
it was a small room too, and it wasn't air conditioned very well.
No, it wasn't really air conditioned probably. And Lewis does it in a jacket, and I was just doing it in a t-shirt and jeans, and I was gonna I felt like I was about to pass out. And I was like, how do you do this in a jacket? Then you did 2 in a row. 2 hours. I was 20 minutes in and I was like, I'm done.
Yeah, it was hectic. Fun. You know, I just get once you're on, you just...
Oh, it's the adrenaline push you through. Because afterwards I was screwed. Last night was one of the best sleeps I've ever had. It was great. Oh,
yeah. Like, you'll see, I'm going to put up a tour vlog probably Tuesday or Wednesday.
Today's Tuesday.
Well, tonight or Wednesday. And then you'll see at the end of it after my show, I was just on the floor. Like, just passed out on the floor. I was that wrecked because I had never done 2 shows in a row.
I came in to talk to you like 5 minutes later. We were talking and then it went away for 2 minutes and I was like, "Wait, Lewis, blah, blah, blah." And then he's asleep at his bed, just fast asleep. And I was like, okay, well that's annoying.
Fair enough.
Yeah. But no, it's been great. The other shows have been great. So I've been going around. I think I've talked about it in the podcast. We went to Geelong, Ballarat. You did Hobart. I didn't get there, but because I had to take a week off to work on the show. But it's just been great. And next week's Adelaide, Perth for Lewis's shows, and then I'll be. I'm announcing it this week, but everyone knows I'm already going now. I've talked about it, but I'm announcing the shows. I'm going to say this week confidently. I shouldn't. You know, you shouldn't say dates.
No, you shouldn't.
You shouldn't.
Notice how I said, Tuesday, Wednesday for the vlog because you can't say dates.
We shouldn't even say that.
But it's pre-sale for most of the shows will definitely be this week. I can definitely say that. But we're still waiting on Adelaide. Adelaide's because they've all the fringe festivals. They screw you around. Anyway, no one cares. We got a question for you, Mike.
Oh, we do.
We have a North Borders fan on who listens to the podcast. So
who also follows me. That's fucking
cool. Yeah. So this guy was like, "Can you get North Borders on your podcast?" And I was like, "Yes." Well, we're actually touring with him at the moment. I assume he knew that.
It's fucking nothing else.
Because he would have seen the photos that you've been taking of us on Instagram.
Yeah, would have had to.
Oh yeah, check Mike out on Instagram.
They're great.
If you go on Luke's or my Instagram, he's tagged there. Or actually, just search North Borders. It's a lot better than ours.
Yeah, it's great. It's like we put up his version of like, that's right. But he's stuff that he properly edits and like the drone shots and the cityscapes are insane.
Yeah, if you think the photos that we've been posting for the past couple of days are cool, wait till you see his because that's his shitty version.
The shit version's like what I like. They're not like obviously I put effort into it.
He'll edit
a
meme like for me. Yeah, like, mate. And I'll be like, that's the best thing I've ever seen. And he'll be like, that took me.
Luke watching me edit is the funniest.
Oh
thing
yeah, I watch
so
him
blown away.
I watch him edit and go, oh man, and what do you do next? And what? Oh mate, put a bit of saturation on that. Oh, you did it. Well done, mate. Anyway, so this person's like. He wanted to know how you got into photography, the process of producing his art, and other questions like that would be cool. Well should have asked
them. Yeah, the process of his art.
Okay.
I love that.
I hate that question, the process of the art, because that's like a school question.
It's worse to get asked that as a comedian because you're like, I think of a dick joke, then I say it on stage, and that's the process.
Yeah. So I'll answer
how you got into it.
How I got into it was I started skating when I was about 12 or 13. So it would have been like about 5 years ago. And my group of friends, we just bought a camera. Like we all just chipped in for a camera to all just film us. We made a little Facebook page and stuff.
Crazy.
Were you filming on one of those fisheye lenses, like the 90s skate videos, like Bam Majira?
I wish. That would have been that probably would have gotten me into a completely different.
The CMKY videos before Jackass.
I almost wanted those fisheye lenses just because of skating.
My mate had one.
Skating made them cool.
Yeah, 100%. They wouldn't be a thing if it wasn't for skating. Because they just warped the fucking image that much.
Blink-182 wouldn't be a thing if it wasn't for skating. Like, there's so many things that wouldn't be a thing. Skating's a massive culture.
Yeah, fuck oath. Yeah. So we got into, and we wanted to film just like document just us skating and shit. 'Cause we used to travel around a whole bunch. We used to like skate down hills as well as like go to the skate park. And we used to like bomb down these hills and just like go. We had like this we had like this Google Maps thing called, and it was like a different thing to Google Maps, and you could check the terrain and how steep hills were. And so we'd look around the whole of Victoria and we'd travel like hours on trains and V-line trains to go find fucking huge hills and just ride down them and shit. It was a whole group of us. And we had like meetups where we'd all go down the one hill and get the cops called on us and shit. And it was just the best time. Anyway,
are you not allowed to do that?
Well, not like 50 of you, I don't think. So there's no actual law.
It was just the mob thing that they didn't like.
Yeah, probably. Because no, it wasn't the cops that didn't like it. It was the houses.
50 teenagers showed up
anywhere.
There'd be like old people going, there's a gang.
Yeah. Lewis Spears shows, there's a gang in the theatre. There's a gang watching the boys speak.
So we bought a camera.
One of them's black. I think he's Apex.
Apex is a Victorian crew or Melbourne crew for anyone who doesn't know.
It sucks because like I have jokes about gangs in my show, and I have to change the gang depending on each city.
You had the daughter of a gang.
Oh yeah, I was doing stuff on
scary.
gang material. So we'll get back to how you got into it.
That's right.
It always goes off.
Yeah, this will happen.
So I was like, as a joke, I was like, I'm thinking of joining a gang, adding gang members in, and one of the girl just puts up her hand, and I was like, oh fuck, because like this is Newcastle. I'm not surprised.
She looked like the daughter of a bikie.
Oh yeah, and then she's like, her friend listens to the podcast, so that's gonna get back to her anyway. And then she was like, yeah, my dad's in the Rebels, which is like the big Sydney gang. And like, is that a bikie gang?
Yeah, it's a bikie gang.
Yeah, and I was like...
It's like Hell's Angels, if
I think it's the biggest. Is it? When I searched it up, like, what's huge?
And I was like, oh, shit. And because I was going to joke about it, because I changed the Hell's Angels bit in my show to the Rebels, because I made it relative for New South Wales, because we're in a different state. And I was like, oh, that's fine. And then I just made a bunch of jokes about me getting fucked by a dad after the show, literally and figuratively in the butthole.
Well, at least that'd give us something to do in Newcastle.
Yeah, that's true. But like,
watch Luke get
plowed by a bikie. Oh well, at least it's a thing.
Visit Luke in hospital.
Recreational fun.
It beats kicking a bag down the hole.
I don't know about that.
I don't know if it does actually. But yeah, it was so funny as a joke. I just expected no one to be like, I'm in a gang. This one guy's like, yeah, I'm pretty heavily gang affiliated. Oh shit.
Yeah, it's fucked.
Anyway, continue. So you're skating.
Yeah, so we bought a camera for our group, and I just happened to always end up with the camera. Just like no one really said like, oh Mike, you got to film today. Like I just like doing it.
Yeah.
And that's how it starts. You find personally that you like something that all your friends were doing as a joke.
That's really important because I get a lot of messages. People ask me like, "Oh, how do you do this? How do you edit that?" And the best thing I can tell you guys is just trial and error, and it's the same for any hobby. You got to do it yourself for you to enjoy it. If you don't enjoy it or you don't find joy out of it, like you just got to trial and error to find what you do and don't like about the hobby.
If you love it that much, it's like the process of getting good is fun. Like when I was eating shit in my first 10 gigs, like Lewis met me on my 8th gig, and I've improved
enough to do a show in Newcastle.
Right? And like even though I was shit, I knew I could be good. And that's like you were shit.
No, of course. I wasn't shit though. I was top of the class, man.
That's the thing though. No, but I was top of the class at being funny. But then you get into the big leagues of Melbourne comedy, and you're like, you're not the funniest.
Yeah, like when you started compared to other photographers.
It's nothing, man.
But you're the top of your school. That's like everything, I reckon. Like I bet you Bono and like Bon Jovi were top of their class.
Yeah.
And then they get into the big leagues.
Their class doesn't actually want to do what they're
doing.
Yeah, that's right. No, that is right.
So yeah, I honestly enjoyed being shit at stand up because I was like, fuck, this is part of it. This is the shit that when I'm 40, I'm going to talk about. This is the worst I ever bombed.
Yeah.
And everyone's going to go, wow, fucking Lewis, and got booed off stage when he was 20, whatever. You know? It's and even though I was shit and I was my taste was so much higher than my actual skill. I was like, this is part of that, and I can work up. Yeah,
because you could be way better than your skill level is. You're like, I know I'm good, but like, I'm not there yet, and you just have to keep eating shit until you get there. And that's like, if you like scroll down the bottom of your
go down the bottom
Instagram,
of my Instagram
you've improved just so much.
You can see the different style changes and like pinpoint exactly where I've improved and what I've done.
Like you weren't even using Photoshop at the start.
No, this is a funny story actually. My mate, who I'm now better at Photoshop than, he got me into Photoshop, and he was like, because I was editing originally my photos on this shitty Google program called Picasa. And it's basically a photo storing.
It's like Kid Pics version of Photoshop.
Yeah, it's legit like Google version of Photoshop. And there was nothing you could shop into the photo. It was just an editing program. And my mate was like, "Oh, Mike, you should really get into using Photoshop. It'll change your photos. Like, there's so much more options you can use." And I looked at it. I opened up the program. And I looked at it, and I'm like, "What the fuck are all these buttons?" And the best, like, I didn't touch it for like 3 months. And then I was like, all right, let's see what all the fuss is about. I open it up. I get into like this hue and saturation key, which basically just like allows you to change all the colors of your photos. Yeah. And I'm like, oh, that's pretty cool. And then, so, like, every night I just go on Photoshop and just, like, press all the press all the buttons.
I love that when you discover something new. Like, the day I realised you don't have to talk about dicks, I was like, oh my god, there's other things in the world to joke about.
Yeah, no, so I was the same with Final Cut, where I was like, I was just editing an iMovie, which is basically just cut here.
It's legit.
See, I grew up
slapping it together.
Yeah, I was doing Final Cut in high school when we were just making the dumb videos for my friends, which helped a lot when I started making public videos because I knew how to edit all the shit.
Yeah.
And I was shit when no one knew who I was when I wasn't doing public videos.
Yeah.
So I feel like I got out most of the shit. The first videos I uploaded on my channel still shit. But I got out most of the shit before I started publicly,
that's
which is
something
good.
that I tell people whenever I get asked about how do I start comedy or how do I start.
You start before you start.
Is I just tell them, they're like, I'm about to start. Do you have any tips? And I go, you're gonna be shit, and that's totally fine. That's
of course,
totally
man.
normal.
You can't be good at the start. You just can't.
Yeah,
you can't be at the top when you start. It's
just
not possible.
Really and no one tells you that.
Go
no
watch
one tells you.
any
Everyone's
set.
like, just try your best and you'll do well. And then they put out shit because they've never done it before. And then they go, oh, I'm shit. And then they quit. I think you need to understand that the first time you try something, you're going to suck at it.
It doesn't matter what you do. No, you're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
And that's fine because especially with the internet, like if it's videos, for example, when you're shit, no one sees it. Like the internet is so like that. Just about if you put out a terrible thing.
The internet's pretty merit-based.
Yeah.
Yeah, people always go like, oh, I'm commenting on my videos, oh my god, you're so underrated, I'm like, nah, I like that they think I'm great, but I'm like, clearly shows that I need to be better, or more people will be watching the videos, you know what I mean? I would say a little bit, not underrated, just, I haven't really reached that audience yet because I haven't made anything truly great yet.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
and
I
a
think
lot of it is consistency as well.
Yeah, I'm not consistent on YouTube.
I don't think you can get huge if you aren't consistent for like a year, really.
Yeah, and I've only been doing it.
That's
for a year
what
as well.
People. I get a lot of questions as well about how do you grow your social media channel, and the best thing I can say is you gotta, because Lewis told me this as well. If you sacrifice a bit of quality for more quantity, that's good.
This
and
is
you just
online.
Yeah, online, and you have to grind it. Like you can't just post once a week, like half-ass it. You have to grind it and actually want to do it because otherwise you're not going to get anywhere. I run 3 different Instagram accounts, and I put the same effort into each one of them every fucking day.
Yeah.
One of them has 90k. It's called Enter Imagination. I run it with 8 other people. We just sort of all post different sort of art to it. Another one, I work for a company called Dutton Garage. We just post cars to that, and then my own personal page. We post to it every single day, and I'd give it about 12 months of posting quality content every day to get to like...
For you even see some kind of improvement.
Yeah, before you see improvement.
Base.
Yeah,
that's right.
Like,
but once you have that, then it can go up. Then it only goes up from there, and then it's sort of like it sort of goes on not autopilot, but you know what I mean? Like
it's true. This is what happened to me. So I've been doing content. I had a base of about 3,000, between 2,000 and 3,000 likes for ages.
Yeah.
Until August, because I got to 2,000 when that Pokemon video blew up, and then but really I hadn't done any good body of work before that.
Yeah.
So I didn't get many likes from that. But then between August and October, I did about 8 weeks of really great, really content that I was proud of.
Yeah.
And then when the first You Don't Own Me video blew up, everyone goes, oh, he got 50k likes, in a month from that one video. Not at all.
No.
I got about 2,000 likes from that video, but then all the people who watched that video went back and watched the 2 months of content earlier, and then all those videos got 800k views, 500k views, 600k views. They all blew up as well because they were like, oh shit, this guy's been putting out content for ages. I'm going to get myself and all my friends onto this, and then I blow up. I wouldn't have blown up if I just had one video.
No, I think having video...
No. You can't be a one-trick pony. It doesn't last.
Having one video or one song blow up at the start of your career, I think is one of the worst
Take
things
that Nikki Webster chick, Strawberry Kisses.
And that song...
She did the thing at the Olympics, the opening ceremony. I haven't seen her since.
And that's because... that's not exactly her fault. That's just because she did the first thing that she did... blew up, and then how do you back that up?
It'll be interesting to see how that designer guy goes after Panda.
Yeah, they were actually pretty smart. Or the music executives, Kanye's label, who got onto him, they understood that this one song is great, but it's only going to give him 4 months and people will get sick of him. So within 4 months of that song blowing up, it was one of the biggest rap songs of the year. They put out a 6-track EP.
Yeah.
That was quite good. I really enjoyed it. And then that just gave people, oh, he's more than just that, one song.
They should have done that with MC Hammer, but they didn't.
Yeah,
and that guy's screwed. I mean, I'm sure he's still living off "You Can't Touch This" money, but
he'll never top that.
No, he's never tried. It's like Vanilla Ice as well. There's heaps of one-hit wonders. Wheatus.
Like I think going viral or having a big song or whatever early in your career is not good.
Yeah.
Like everything that I've been doing has been a much slower rise than other people around me. But the people who do come,
weren't you talking about the Janoskins the other day? Like the theatre, like the 12.
Like I said this in a video. They blew up really fast. But then they didn't.
They did Madison Square Garden or something.
They did Wembley Arena in London, which is 12,500 seats. But then that was when they hit their peak, and then they didn't really have any other shit out there, and it started to just die off because there was just nothing for their fans. They're like, oh, I really like the Janoskians, but there's nothing for me to watch.
And then the next year they did 2,000 or 1,000.
Yeah, the next year they did 2,000, which is fucking mental. Like that's
a huge drop. The percentage of that drop is insane, and their management would have been like, we fucked up.
Yeah,
because like really, you've done it, and I think I'm doing it the right way, which is this year will be like I'm touring Australia, which really is nuts for even where I'm at. I was surprised that I could even do it.
Yeah,
and which is it's literally like my dreams coming true. I didn't even think it would happen this early, and but next year is going to be bigger than the year after that. It's going to be bigger, and that's what you've done. Every year, Lewis is doing theatres this year, but it's taken him 3 years to get there. Yeah, you know, like, and I feel like your fans enjoy it more if they see a progression.
Oh yeah, like I don't like
people like watching people get successful and grow, and they feel like they're a part of it. I like, people who I like. I'm like, oh, they're killing it.
As a fan, like there's a rapper that I really like. He's American. His name's G-Eazy. He came to Australia.
He's the guy who raps in that new "You Don't Owe Me" song.
Yeah,
in the version of that song I use. So
he came to Australia for the first time after his first album, and it was like 300 people. It wasn't really sold out. And then he dropped his second album, and I saw him live again, and it was over 1,000. And as a fan, I was like, this is great. Yeah. Like seeing that progression, I'm like, fuck yeah, he's working hard. And it's like, and I think that's what you really need to do is if you really want fans
to be invested in you,
you have to treat them well. And it's not going, I love you. No one gives a fuck about that. They just want to see your content, whatever it is. They want to see it get better, and they want to see you working hard and progressing.
Like after our shows on this tour, and after my show and Lewis's shows and stuff, we make a point of meeting every single person and talking to them, taking photos. You sign their shit, whatever. Like, and it's also, I love it because it's great just getting people enjoying your work, and it's what you work all year for. But people, I think, just showing that level of respect, because some artists, they just go, thanks very much, they go backstage, they don't come out till everyone leaves. But I think if you show them that level of respect, like, I really appreciate you leaving your house and organising transport in, putting on an outfit. Like, girls, they take, you know what I mean? Like, girls put on an outfit, they dress up, then the boyfriends go, oh yeah, they plan their whole day around your show. Yeah. And in the morning, they go, oh, I've got to go home from work. Oh, they might leave early from work so they can get ready beforehand. Some of them travel hours to come to the shows. These 2 girls last night travelled from Central Coast.
Really?
Which is an hour away.
That's nothing compared to Hobart. Sorry to interrupt, but this is on the Lewis Spears show when we were in Hobart. Some people came from Launceston,
which is how far away?
3 hours away, wasn't it?
Yeah, man, it's crazy.
Wasn't it? Yeah, 3 hours, I think.
That's crazy.
You've
and
had
by bus or something like that.
You've had people come from interstate to your live podcast, which would just be a crazy feeling. And
flying, yes.
I've had a few people going like, "Oh man, I need a passport for your show." I'm like, dude, I'm not.
I wouldn't go that far.
No, I wouldn't go that far. I would maybe go interstate if. Like, I was thinking about going and seeing Crystalia interstate if I can, only because my shows at the Comedy Festival clash with his.
For a select few people, I would travel
interstate
for.
But I'd also make a weekend out of it. I'd go for them, but also go, I like Sydney, I'll stay for a few days. But, it's really cool. And, I think like that's what you need to do with building a fan base at the start. Like, Kevin Hart did it. You meet everyone after the show, you get their email, you get that's why the mailing list is great, and and you make them feel like they're your fan. And he built an audience worldwide on starting from nothing.
Yeah,
and you can do it. You just got to put the work in, I think.
Yeah, it's not just. It's not like doing a show. That's like not even half of it, really. The show is it's like all of the, and then we came. What are we doing?
Oh no, go continue.
Yeah, we came after my shows. The next day, we didn't fucking celebrate. We sat down on the table.
And I was getting ready to announce my tour this week.
Luke's working on his show.
And I'm working on a video.
I'm writing a script. Mike's editing the vlog.
Which is coming together fucking
Yeah, that's the thing.
nicely,
I feel like people get caught up in... even though we're talking about our own success now a little bit, but this is because it's a podcast and it's, I think it might be interesting for some people, but... this is the only time we've actually done it, that we've reflected on what we've done, really. We just kind of got home, we had our pasta, we joked about Newcastle being a bit shit, like that was a great show when boys went to bed, got up to this morning and started working again. And I think people don't see that side of it.
No.
People go, he's funny for an hour, and the people, I'm like, dude, that took me 2 years.
Yeah.
Well, last night, people were like, what a great hour, and I was like, yeah.
That was actually 2 years.
2 years of work.
That was 2 years condensed into an hour.
And that's why I was just so relieved when everyone loved it. I was like, I didn't waste 2 years of my life. This is great. Imagine that. Everyone, like 2 years of my life, I'm like, I hope you like it. And everyone's like, what the fuck?
I don't think anyone, like, not a whole...
I couldn't get over how everyone was loving it. Every single person.
Yeah, and I was sitting at the back and I was looking at people and nobody didn't like it. Like everyone.
It was great, and I was just like, this is the coolest feeling. Because you've experienced that before, but I'd never had that people came for me before, which was great.
Yeah.
So it was really cool.
It's the same when it comes to sort of video stuff, is what I've learned. People will forgive the quality if your stories, like for video this is, and I can relate it to comedy in a second, but people will forgive...
People like a story.
Yeah, if your story is good enough, people will forgive the quality of your video. So let's say if your video is shit and you have a couple pretty shots in it, but you have a really strong story that actually that tells a story, people will forgive whatever else goes on. Yeah, but if you have just pretty shots and it's that's about it. People will be like, yeah, that's cool, but people don't go off thinking about it afterwards because I saw that video, got a couple cool shots in it. But if you tell a story, people will always remember that.
Yeah, I'd say to wrap it up, I'd say the most important things is just stay consistent with whatever you're doing. Put it out if you can do it monthly or weekly or whatever, just put it out consistently.
Yeah. And
try and get people attached not just to your work but to you as a creator. As well, because someone can there's a massive difference.
People like your content
between someone liking your videos and someone liking you.
Yeah.
That's the
most important thing.
And that's the hardest thing. That's the one that really takes years, is to get people invested in you.
Which is why I think...
I want him to win.
Yeah, and I think I've done that pretty quickly for someone who's coming up.
Yeah.
And I obviously still got ages to go, but I feel like I've started that process quickly than most people, which is good. So did you answer producing his art? Or are you still...
No, we're still on...
Oh my god. Right, brief version. How did you get into
let's
photography?
Yeah, so a couple of years went by and just sort of really started getting into just light painting and stuff. And then I slowly sort of segued into just more Photoshop stuff and manipulating my photos. And then downloaded a different editing program called Lightroom. Started editing my photos on there and then... built up my Instagram, started getting a bit more following and a bit more work, and eventually, met Lewis, and here I am. That's a quick way of summing it up, because we went on a huge tangent. And then what was the other
producing your art.
Producing my
process
art.
of producing your art. Well, just Photoshop.
Oh, yeah, so I just use Photoshop. Well, pretty much, I'll take the photo, I'll look through all the photos through a program I use called Lightroom. It's an Adobe program. And then I'll open up the photo in Lightroom, I'll edit it to however I feel the photo should be edited. Because when people go what's your exact editing process? I don't know, I don't really have an exact way I go about it. It's just how I feel about
with,
going
with
it.
creative stuff like
Yeah,
that.
it's
there
just
really
like how you
isn't
feel.
Too much of a method. Like there's a few things that you'll do, like rules. Like if I'm editing a video, I'll be like, well, I need to make sure the audio is consistent. Like that's a rule that you have to have.
But as far as creative control,
part,
that's why me and Lewis's video is very different because we find different things funny, obviously, and
I think that it's with the internet. Like if with programs, there's just so many fucking tutorials out there. You don't need someone to teach you. You can, like, when I was, like, something that I do all the time. Yeah, something that I do all the time in my videos is I'll put 2 of me in one shot.
Yeah.
And we'll have an
people
argument.
are so impressed by that. It's so easy to do. I do it. I did it in the last video.
Yeah, and I'll have an argument with myself. And I didn't, when I decided, I want to do that.
I didn't even Google that. I just worked out how to do it. I thought about how you do it. You put the 2 overlay things over each other, and then you crop the half. I just thought about how I'd physically get that done, and then I was like, tried it, and it worked.
Same with me. And then there's a couple tricks that you can do to make it better, where you can just make the crop round instead of just a straight line. And for that specific stuff, I just Googled it on YouTube, and I was like, how to clone.
I try and teach myself one new thing in video about editing. And then I have that trick forever.
Idea. Yeah.
You just you know that one thing. You're like, I didn't know you could do that. And then now for all the other videos, I can do that. Because you'll know, and that's how you keep your videos evolving.
It's also just like learning the program itself and just continuing to use it. Like instead of setting goals to like, I need to learn this, I need to learn that. It's just, if you just use the program and you just use it and you'll figure it out.
Do it, mate.
Just fucking do it. Like you get it.
Let's do something funny now.
Yeah,
because that was like
what
really
about good old Mark?
Oh, we got to talk about Mark.
Chase your dreams, cunts.
Wait. Here's one. This is a stupid question from Amber. Well, not the question, stupid answer. It's just very different. It's not serious. This is a question for the podcast.
Yeah.
If you could have any superpower, this is so generic. What would you have, and what would be the first thing you do? Also, I love you and your podcast so much. Keep doing you. Thanks, Amber. I would have the ability to send in creative questions. No, what would you? Superpower. I like this question. Because invisible's creepy, but it'd be fun. I think flying would be the best.
Flying. Imagine the drone shots. I wouldn't even need it.
But he wouldn't need a drone.
I wouldn't need a drone
anymore. Camera.
I'd go way higher too.
I reckon.
Because I think I have a bit of fear of falling, which comes from a mild fear. I used to have a massive fear of heights. Now it's just like I don't want to die.
Yeah.
I think the fear of, and that would be eliminated if I could just
recover.
Fuck,
2 years of comedy
I could
down
recover
the drain.
with, like, fall off a building, then recover with like a flip and a pirouette and go, fuck yeah, boys. Like that would be flying.
You know
would be
what?
sick.
I reckon teleporting.
But you could
true.
Flying.
Because I don't like commuting. Actually, commuting to places sucks.
Imagine if you have to fly across the ocean to get to New York.
I'd teleport.
True. Then we could have left here 3 days ago.
Exactly. You'd save so much money on flights. You'd save heaps of money on Mikey. You could do like public transport tickets. You could do so much funny shit by teleporting too. Like I would love to just teleport into.
It'd be great to screw with people.
Teleport into
JB
Hi-Fi
into a bank vault and then move all of the money out of it and not even steal any of it. Just put it
somewhere
in
else
front
and
of
make
the
them
door.
freak out. And they go, how did that happen?
Yeah, how did $3 million and jewels just get in front of the door?
It would be even funnier watching.
Someone else has to pack it back
watching
in.
back the CCTV footage of you just like appearing with a bandana on or whatever.
Yeah, like apparating in Harry Potter.
Yeah. And you'd be like, what? Like you teleport naked with the balaclava. That'd be the funniest shit. Yeah. And you just go around. I'd go into JB Hi-Fi and just steal all the fucking
teleporting
TVs.
is good to screw with people.
Yeah, I reckon.
I'd probably still fly though, just because. Imagine because it'd be when you jump, you just don't stop. You just.
Hey, how does Superman fly faster?
Yeah, does he go like he tense?
He holds his breath.
Because you know a bird.
How do you control speed?
Faster.
Yeah, I never get
but
that.
But if Superman flying,
I was thinking about that. How do you even steer? There's no rudder.
Yeah.
Like at the back, you gotta put your hand. You lean.
He uses his dick to rudder. I don't know how girls would fly then.
Superman cock. How does Wonder Woman do it? We don't know.
With her nipples, maybe.
Why Superman can do it with his nipples too, Mike? Jesus, so sexy. Come on, Mike.
That's the key. It's nipples.
All right, we're gonna talk about Mark.
Oh, yes. Mate.
So yesterday we're walking down Newcastle, hating it.
Absolutely hating everything.
Stewing on, there's nothing open.
Look, to give you an idea of how little there is to do in Newcastle, I was walking down the street this morning and I saw pot plants. Shit pot plants. It was like a pot and they had shitty cactuses in them. They looked real heavy. And on every single pot there was a big laminated piece of paper that said, "Please do not steal this." And
so like that just makes me want to take it.
That's how little there is to do
in Melbourne.
in Newcastle.
I would see a pot plant. I'd probably veer away from it because I'd be like, "That's a bit shit. What a bad
fuck
pot
hipsters
plant."
live there. Fuck that.
That means that the woman has had so many pot plants stolen
That it's warranted a sign.
She's gone to Officeworks and laminated a piece of paper.
It says, "Do not steal." The crime here. There's a skink outside. That's the best thing I've seen in Newcastle.
That's sick.
So far.
And you know what? It's not even don't steal. It's please don't.
Yeah, it's like I beg
so
of you. I
inconvenient.
like my cactuses the way they are. Thanks on my porch.
On my porch.
Oh, you know what? You'll get along with this bloke. Oh, I hate people like you. So this bloke messaged my
I only
page.
do it because I know you hate it.
Oh, when people correct me, I'm just like, you raise a terrific point,
But you know what?
but actually go fuck yourself sideways.
For someone who you only hate being corrected because you're wrong. all
Incredibly
the
wrong all the time.
time. You say shit wrong. You get he's and his wrong all the time.
I do too.
And you say it in conversation, and then I have to work out whether you mean he is or his. You know what? You know when someone's wrong and they say the wrong thing all the time the same way? You interchange it. It's incredible. Or you'll say he's and his just wrong, but it's never the same.
Yeah, I always use the wrong there when I write it out, like they are or they're. Oh my god. I just got, this isn't to read in the podcast, but I'm going to read it because this is the nicest message I've ever received.
Yeah.
This is from Kieran, who came last night.
Yeah.
Had to travel 6 hours and pay $130 for accommodation to get to your show, to get to your Newcastle show. I was scared it wasn't going to be worth the effort, but fuck, it was worth that and more. Both you and Lewis killed it, because Lewis opened for me last night. Did we say that? I don't know. And I can't wait until your next tour. Keep up the good work, man. What? That is the nicest thing. Some people are... That's the thing. The people here... Or he doesn't even live here, clearly, because he travelled 6 hours.
He lives in an even smaller town.
Which means they're even nicer. What an absolute... That's really nice. And he was great. He bought a T-shirt and a poster, and he came by himself.
Wow.
Oh man, that's
wow. Shout out to
lovely.
Kieran,
yeah,
man.
what a trooper, man.
Good on you, Kieran. Legend. It was a great show, and that's what you do it for, man.
All right.
It's just that.
Now we're gonna wreck this.
Now let's.
No, I'm gonna wreck this bloke who's correct me.
Oh,
first.
okay, right.
So we've been nice to Kieran. Now we're gonna demolish
some dude. But you'll have his back because you actually. This is just retarded though.
All right, let's hear it.
The subject of the email is, "Hey Luke, clearing up some wildlife facts. I already hate you."
Fuck off.
Because it's got to be something about fat birds, and you know what? I don't care. It was pregnant.
What is this podcast? Totally wild? Like it doesn't need
it's like the.
There's no David Attenborough.
You know what it is? It's like it's an uninformative Discovery Channel with no research put into it. I just give my opinions on small rodents.
What do you think, Luke is Steve Irwin or something? He doesn't have to
I know. I've never got stabbed in the chest with a barb, mate. Hi, mate. Recently started listening to your shit, and I fucking love it. But there it is. There's where it goes downhill. You ready? This is what bothers me. Your illiteracy when it comes to wildlife is shocking. He spelt you are.
Okay, so
you are.
What he means is
he's used illiteracy wrong. Illiteracy is only when you're talking about words. So this cunt is more illiterate. He's illiterate.
He's illiterate. He means my knowledge when it comes to wildlife is shocking, not my illiteracy.
Your knowledge when it comes
You're
to
illiterate.
words.
He's trying to do one of those things where you talk, like, use big words to sound smart, but then he's just fucked himself.
Your knowledge when it comes to words is fucking stupid, man.
Right. So first off, the fat bird thing.
Did he actually write right?
Yeah, he wrote right. So first off.
Sorry, Dad.
And then he did a semicolon, which I don't know is the correct usage because I'm also illiterate.
No, you don't do a semi. No, that's wrong.
He did it there. Right. So first off, I don't know.
Dude, that whole email is written.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
And also, he spelt butt with 2 B's.
So look, we're obviously dealing with someone very special.
Yeah. So first off, the fat bird thing. Such a good in-joke, but anyway. Usually young birds that have just left the nest have more feathers, so they look obese as fuck. Which means I'm correct. They're fat.
Such a good joke, but I'm going to explain it and ruin it.
But he didn't ruin it. But he didn't ruin it because he just backed up my thing saying, yeah, young birds are obese as fuck. I know, that's why I called them fat. What is wrong with you?
Fat is like a level below obese as well. So what he's actually adding.
Do you want me to call
joke.
them obese jokes? Is it obese birds?
That's not funny though. That doesn't sound as funny.
Obese birds.
That's the new in-joke, obese birds.
Obese birds. We saw an obese bird.
Oh, yeah.
It was a pelican.
Mate, that wasn't a fat bird.
If you looked at my Snap story, oh my god, it was like Bigfoot or pelican. It was on top of a lamp pole, and it wasn't fat though. It was just like the Dwayne the Rock Johnson, if he was a pelican.
Yeah.
Pretty much. And he was. I thought he was going to break the lamppost.
It was bendy.
It looked like
definitely
a funny bird.
And we were yelling at it.
Yeah, we were like, "Oi, go for a run, mate!" And oh yeah, you did it. Oi, fatty! And then some guy in front of you turned around, and it was like,
so loud.
"What did you say?" And you were like, "I was just talking to the pelican."
Oh, poor bastard.
And he's like, secondly, so your first point's just illiterate. Secondly, the Preggers kangaroo. This one got me because they give birth to a bunch of jelly bean-sized fetuses, so that wouldn't affect its weight significantly. But it still would affect its weight.
You know what? It's like...
You know what, mate? You're not Steve Irwin because he's dead. So...
You know what gets me about people who do this? I get emails like this all the time where, oh, you were incorrect. It's like, do you see what category my podcast is in? It's comedy.
Yeah.
Not science, not education, not life. It's comedy.
Yeah.
So if I'm ever wrong, it was a joke.
Yeah. Anyway, keep it up from your friendly neighbourhood ranger. P.S. Master Uruguay from Kung Fu Panda is a tortoise, not a turtle.
Okay, this dude's autistic and his animals are his focus. You know how there's autistic kids? And
You would hate this podcast then, because I always talk about animals and always give a really uneducated take on it.
Yeah.
So why do you listen?
That's the autistic
He's never going to
kid.
listen again.
He's the autistic kid that picked like a weird fascination. Like I've always thought, if I had an autistic kid, I'd get them on the maths because that'd be really useful.
I'm just not going to say
anything. Hey Sarah,
anything
what's 79 divided by 3?
I'm just going to roast him. If
Yeah, you're going to.
I think I'll just stay out of this.
Here's the thing, Mike. This is what we need to talk about next. This is the last thing on the podcast. All right. So Mark. We're going to talk about Mark. If you might have seen on my Snapchat story briefly, let's explain what happened. We're walking down the street. This is where we started before. And it was boring as, and there was a massive, like, you know, there's enormous billboards.
It was way too big for
real
what
estate.
it was.
And pretty much half the billboard was this real estate agent's head called Mark. And I pointed at the billboard and I was like, look at that guy. He looks like he has a mustache, but he doesn't.
Basically, hang on.
It's so hard to. I'll post a.
We crossed the road to look at
I'll post a picture of his face in the comments when I upload this podcast. So go check it out. On
I think what happened, his forehead came out of his head a bit too much, and it casted a shadow over his nose and his upper lip.
Yeah.
So there was like this shadow that looked like he had a mustache.
His upper lip was like Mordor.
We crossed the road to get a closer look, and the whole time I was going, he's got a mustache. And Luke was like,
no, he doesn't. He doesn't. And we got there, and he doesn't.
But it looks like he does. Even up close.
It's so hard to explain. So this dude had just a real...
You have to see the photo.
A real rough scone. Like, just...
What a pill.
Like, and we were
This is the best thing about Newcastle.
It was the funniest thing that's happened.
It was the funniest thing.
And we started filming the song, going, look at this bloke, and you're like, oh, he's the most punchable head I've ever seen.
And then I have to one-up these boys,
yeah,
obviously.
so we lose, this is what we do as comedians. We take piss out of something, then we move on with our lives, because that's just what we do all the time. And then Mike just gets his phone out, we didn't think anything of it, and he gets on the guy's website.
He starts lagging behind us, looking. I thought he was texting someone. We walk, we're like, I don't know, 5 meters in front of him, and then Mike catches up, and he's on the phone to his receptionist.
So he called.
Hey, is Mark there?
He called his. So there was a phone number on the billboard. And he called the phone immediately and was like, and we just hear him go, hi, is Mark there? And the girl's like, and then she's like, why? And he goes, I want to speak to Mark because he wanted to tell him he had a shit head.
So Yeah, basically, I say, she asked me, like, what's it in regards to? I'm like, oh, fuck, what do I say now? I'm like, oh, yeah, just something about me dad wanted to buy a house. And then she's like, okay, I'll leave a message for him and he'll call you back. And we go, okay, thank you. And we hang up. And Lewis is like, what we've just done there is a reverse prank call. So basically...
So we've called up this guy to bag you've called up a guy to bag the shit out of him. He's not there. Then you're going, well, get him to give me a call back. He's like, get him to give me a call back, and I'll fucking ruin his life then when he's paying for
Which
it.
is such a waste of his day. Like
He's dude, there's 4 million houses here and nothing to do. He's the richest and busiest man in Newcastle.
That's how they afforded that billboard. Even though he's got a shit head, everyone's like, well, fuck, he's our only option.
Yeah.
Right, so long story short, he did call me back, and I recorded the phone conversation.
So we got Lewis to pretend that he was Mark's... Because Mike said... No, Mike said... Mike said, it's for a thing from a dad just so he'd call us back. And then Lewis pretended that he was Mike's dad. And we've got the audio. No, we won't play it now, but I'll just put it in.
Okay,
I'll edit it in.
Yeah, we'll put it in.
So here is the phone call. Him just... Because really, the aim in this phone call, we were like, we just want to know if he is aware that he has a mustache, but he doesn't.
Yeah.
We want to know if he knows.
Basically, my goal was on this conversation was to get him to explain his own face to me. So, when you think about it, before we play it, I just want you guys to put yourselves in Mark's shoes. Mark, it's just he called after 5, so he should be.
He should be at home with his wife and kids.
So he's come out of a meeting where I don't know what they're talking about. They're probably going, "Look, Mark, you need to fix your head. All right, we're not selling any houses.
Mark, just what's going on with your upper lip?
Either grow a mustache or don't have one.
Pick a team, Mark.
Pick a side.
You're chopper or you're not.
So he's gotten out of this meeting being blasted by his boss, and then his receptionist goes, "Look, someone wants to buy a house." And you're like, "Fuck, that's 30 grand for me." So he puts it in his calendar, and then he calls this phone. He thinks he's going to make some money, and then this is what happened.
Hey, mate, is this Mark?
Yeah, it is. How you doing?
Not too bad, mate. My dad had an inquiry about a house. Do you mind if I just put him on to you?
Sure, no dramas.
Thanks, mate.
Yeah, hi, is that Mark with the mustache?
Not for the mustache. No, I don't have a mustache.
You don't? Oh, because we saw you're on the billboard.
Right.
It looks like you have a mustache. Did you?
Oh, right, mate. Maybe someone's giving me one. That costs extra.
Ah, well, did you have it while you were taking the photo, or?
No.
Oh.
No, it's not the first time it's happened.
Oh, it's not the first time it's happened. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Anyway, How can I help? Which property interests you?
Look, mate, I really wanted my house to be sold by someone with a mustache. I'm sorry.
We just listened to the call again.
That's funny.
Oh, man, that's good.
Poor Mark. And what a waste of his time.
Oh,
that was a straight up waste.
So funny. We should do a prank call in every state, actually. Let's do that. But anyway, so that's the end of the podcast. Thanks very much for listening. The shows should be on sale. You know what? I'm not going to say. If the shows are on sale, buy tickets. If they're not, hang out for that.
The show is great. I highly recommend it.
I'm super happy with it. So yeah, thank you very much.
And make sure to check out
go check out Mike North Borders. It's insane. I've been uploading photos from him on my Instagram. You might have already checked him out. But and Lewis, do you have anything to plug? Get tickets to Lewis' show as well, because I'm coming there. So
I'm currently on tour. Luke's
come to both of our shows. I'm going to be coming to Adelaide, Perth. That's next weekend. The weekend after is Canberra, Sydney. Oh no, Canberra, Gold Coast. And also, if you're from Canberra, Gold Coast, that's the only time I'm going to be coming to those. I'm doing my own show there this year. Yeah, so if you want to see me, go to Lewis's Canberra Gold Coast show. I'll be doing like 15, 20 minutes at the start. So,
and the last thing that I wanted to plug is go on Luke's Facebook page and click and see the comment section where he posted this podcast. And
look at Mark's head.
Tell us whether you think Mark has a mustache or he doesn't.
Yeah.
That's a serious issue. We actually need to know.
Yeah, it's like a genuine thing that's been bothering us. I mean, Newcastle's been bothering us in general, but I think it's the underlying issue is Mark's upper lip. Alright, that's the end of the podcast, guys. Thanks very much for listening. We'll see you next week.
See you at the shows.
See ya.